It's a brand new week and time to fill you in on security and crime stories that made headlines during the week. It's your one-stop security program, Crime Watch. On our lineup this week,
I entered their vehicle, not up to 2 minutes. They pinned down and wind up. Then held my throat, said they needed money.
Taxi robbery on the rise in Abuja.
Then taxi, as the guy they followed and they drag, and make them shoot down.
Vigilante group apprehends killers of undergraduate in Bayelsa. 4 dead as robbers storm a New Generation bank in Ekiti. Hello and welcome. I'm your anchor, Ivy Kano. Crime Watch begins now. We begin with the news coming from Ekiti. The police have confirmed that Monday's raid on a New Generation bank in Ijiro by armed robbers claimed 4 casualties. My colleague in Ekiti State, Akin Ogumola, reports that it's the 4th bank robbery in the year.
The gang that executed Monday's raid at the branch of Access Bank in Ijiro Ekiti came in an ambulance and hid their ammunition in a coffin, according to the police public relations officer who spoke on phone.
They used dynamite to gain entrance into the bank, and then they took our men off guard because they disguised by coming with an ambulance, conveying coffin, and then one would have thought that, okay, that was what maybe they were carrying a dead body. And before we know what's happening, they opened fire, to gain access into the bank.
Investigation has commenced into the latest bank robbery in Ekiti State, just as investigations are still ongoing on the previous 3 bank robberies this year in the state. The first bank raid was at Ifake Ekiti in April. Another bank was raided in May in Ilawe Ekiti. In September, the robbers struck at Igede Ekiti and now at Ijiro Ekiti. In all, lives were lost and the vandalized banks shut down, thereby denying thousands of people in the localities access to banking facilities.
It may be very scary transacting business now in Ekiti, but I know security agencies are up to the task. Now the update on Alpha robbery. The magistrate court in Ilorin has ruled that the 5 suspects arrested for the robbery have case to answer. The police prosecutor, ASP Jimo Abdul Kadri, who held brief for the officer in charge of legal, Kwara State Police Command, informed the magistrate of an application submitted before the court indicating that the suspects must answer to the crime. He added that there was need for the police to continue with its investigation in order to allow for the arrest of most suspects and transfer them to proper court for trial. Counsel to the accused persons, Barrister Abdul Rashid Lawal, said he's withdrawing from the case on moral grounds as he lacks full knowledge of the case since inception. Magistrate Saliu Bio granted the withdrawal application of the defense counsel and adjourned the case to Thursday, the 6th December 2018. He also ordered that the accused persons be remanded in prison custody.
Is that there is a legal advice that was presented before this court telling us that there is more investigation which needs to be conducted as to the more other suspects that need to be arrested in respect of this case. Be that as it may, there's an instruction given to the DPP, by the DPP's office rather, to allow the police to swing into investigations and try to apprehend more other suspects who might be charged, possibly need to be charged together with these other accused persons. So therefore, we have an application before the court today seeking the leave of court to withdraw my own appearance for the accused persons. And that was granted by this honorable court today. So I've withdrawn my appearance for them, and that gives room to any other person who wants to possibly appear in respect of the accused persons to come into play. So as far as I'm concerned, this case is yet to be concluded because more investigation needs to be conducted as regards the other suspects who are at large. And once they are arrested, they'll be brought before the court.
Meanwhile, the prime suspect in this year's bank robbery attacks in Kwara State Michael Adiku, has died in police custody. The Kwara State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Kamaldeen Ajibade, prosecuting the trial of the arrested suspects at the Ilorin High Court, told the judge Halima Salman about the development, saying the police headquarters informed him on phone. The other 5 suspects also appeared in court on Wednesday, but without legal representation, saying they were personally served with the court papers. The suspects are standing trial over the serial robberies at various banks in April this year, where about 30 persons, including policemen, were killed. Justice Salman promised a speedy trial and has adjourned the case to Friday, November the 30th, to enable the prosecution effect the necessary changes to the criminal charges.
We were informed by the police headquarters that the first accused person, who happened to be the ringleader as referred to by the police, that is dead. Normally, his name is on our charge sheet as the first accused person. So we have no choice in the circumstance than to amend the charge to remove his name from the charges. So that made us to request for an adjournment till next week. The police have informed us that the accused person, the first accused, is dead, and we have to amend our charge. So we've not been given any evidence to that effect, but we have requested to, we write them to request for an evidence to that effect. We'll do that.
The collaborative effort of the Bayelsa Vigilante Service and the Nigerian police is paying off. Less than 2 weeks after the murder of 16-year-old undergraduate Seifa Fred in Yenegua, the Vigilante Service has handed over 2 suspects to the police.
One Gino Dumbabu, a 20-year-old male of Ibis Mechanic Street, Amarata, was arrested with a locally made pistol. The suspect led police to arrest one Ayiba Pre Idonyo, male 30 years, who allegedly supplied him with the locally made pistol. Gino Dumobi confessed to be a member of the Greenland cultist group, and he confessed to be among the people who murdered Seifa.
With the support of the Bayelsa State government and the synergy we have with the Nigerian police and other relevant security authorities, we are succeeding, and we also get support from residents in our neighborhood.
I've been there for Ibis God Mercy Supermarket inside Ibis Mechanic Street. So when I've been there, my fellow called Greenland friends them, Rich Man and Nemo. Then talk say as the guy they follow them they drag, and I make them shoot her.
A teacher escaped death by the whiskers after an encounter with fraudsters, locally known as One Chance. Esther Oko sustained injuries and lost her items to those fraudsters who posed as taxi operators. Defense correspondent Sifon Essien reports that the spate of One Chance activities has prompted the establishment of a special police squad to check them.
Esther Oko is in pains. She is glad to have escaped death by the whiskers.
Say they were going to kill me and throw me away.
The secondary school teacher's ordeal started on November the 9th when she boarded a taxi for Yanya, a suburb of Abuja. Little did she know that the taxi driver and others on board were criminals locally known as One Chance.
At about 5:36, I entered their vehicle. Not up to 2 minutes, they pinned down and wind up. Then held my throat, said they needed money, said they should check my bag, they should take everything. They were still strangling me.
They strangled her till she became unconscious.
Then they asked of my phone pin. I gave them my 2 ATM pins. I gave them. They were still strangling me. They took something and was hitting my neck. And they're strangling me until I became unconscious. I wheeled on my body and passed out.
Her assailants made away with her valuables after dumping her in a gutter by the highway near Day Day.
The next thing I could remember was that I was on the ground somewhere and hearing the sound of moving vehicle from afar. So I crawl, because I couldn't see. Got to a farm, crawl again into a gutter, then struggled, crossed the gutter and lie by the side of the road. Then I was shouting for help.
She was rescued by a passerby and taken to a police station. The following day, investigations by the police resulted in the arrest of these suspects.
On 10th November 2018, at about 0:20 hours, following a discreet investigation, operatives of the Command Anti-One Chance Squad arrested one Onyebuchi Ifanyuku, male, 40 years, and Anthony Sunday, male, 35 years, at their hideout in Tungan Maji.
The suspects confessed to the crime and narrated how they did it.
So we beat her and we took her money and her phone. So that's all we took from her. And her 2 MTN cards. So the woman was begging for us to release her. So we now took her to after Day. That's where we discharged her.
You are who?
Then this my colleagues here.
Tell you the truth, I have built this. This is the 4th one now. The 3rd. I haven't been up to 1 week in Abuja here. Tomorrow we make it 1. This is the 4th operation before this thing happened.
Police records show that at least 25 suspects have been arrested in the last 3 months in connection with the One Chance crime. This came after the establishment of a special police squad to checkmate this type of crime.
Already arrange ourselves. Maybe one guy with the front.
Godwin Atta, who is in detention, tells us another approach in committing the crime.
And the way you do where you carry them, we don't already arrange ourselves. Maybe one guy with the front, 2 boys with the back, and one guy with them for about that 3, and driver with them. They will just find one person to pick. Then where that person enter now. So the guy now will complain and say, car driver or the place tight. Understand? Then the driver now will park where tell the last person where enter, say close the door. That the guy will stand near the person where will carry now. Then the driver will tell the person hold the door for 2 hands, lock her. Then maybe they get half bag for hand. Then the lady will stand there would like to just to help her with the bag. Make you lock the door with the 2 hands as the driver tell her to lock her with that. And the driver will bring hand to confuse the guy. The guy lock the door, go say the door never lock. That time the guy don't collect the other guy, the person where can even a man or guy. Don't collect the bag, pass to the other person where they here. Go open them immediately, sharply. Everything where they side, don't put inside the bottle. You lock it back. Then we pass to the person. So the driver will go where he will pray for the door now. So the door will not close again. You will tell the person where we want to carry, say, okay, draw another vehicle. Because the door is not closed again. That time we don't carry waiting then back. They will move.
A warning signal to those who are involved in this.
The police urge residents of the nation's capital to always be vigilant and promise to step up operations to stem the tide of One Chance.
Now in Imo State, the police command has foiled an attempt to bomb Eziachi in Olu local government area of the state.
That yes, actually there was an attempt to bomb Eziachi community. And the people who did it were arrested. They are indigenous people of Abia State residing at Imo State. Fortunately for us, we are able to thwart their effort of causing mayhem in Imo State. I want at this junction urge the good people of Imo State to empower us by giving us prompt and usable information at all times and support us in carrying out our job so that Imo will be best and great during our time.
I was arrested because I am carrying explosion to go and test it.
To test it where?
At Ekezachi in Olo.
Test it with human beings or what?
No, sir. There is 2 containers at Ekezachi. So you want to go and test it and see how capacity the thing can work.
Okay, you want to test it at the container, whether it will...
Yes, sir. Destroy the 2 containers.
Okay, now, where were you coming from? Where did you get the explosive from? And why going to Ekezachi?
Is one of our guys that give it to us at Ebonyi State. So he now tell us to go and test it and let's see how the explosion can work.
Okay, if you can destroy those containers, you will now use it on human beings.
He not tell us anything like that. He just tell us to just go and test it.
In another development, the Imo State Police Command has paraded 9 suspected cultists going to Awamama Forest for initiation.
My policemen walking along the road on stop and search at Imoko here, within Owerri town here. Cultists, particularly belonging to Black Axe, were arrested, about 9 of them, on their way for initiation at Omama Forest. We recovered a locally made pistol and some charms and a drink purported to be blood meant for the initiation.
The Taraba State Police Command has paraded 23 suspects, including 3 suspected killers of 3 policemen and 2 vigilantes on 6th of August 2018. Also among those paraded were dealers in human parts. Correspondent Owolabi Adenusi's report is presented from our studio.
It's 3 months after 5 security personnel were ambushed in Lau local government area of Taraba, and the police command claimed to have found the killers of its officers. It alleges that these suspects being paraded have confessed to the crime. The suspects admitted to their roles in the crime, adding that about 20 of them were recruited by one Ahmed Ubaka, the Sakin Fulani of Abari. They claimed Abari supplied the arms they used in the operation under the guise that they were to help him fight some people rustling his cattle.
Sometimes in August, precisely on the 6th of August this year, our men attached to Lau Division went to respond to a distress call. In fact, 3 of them, led by the divisional police officer, the divisional crime officer of Lau Division, 2 other policemen, and 2 members of the vigilante accompanied them. But somewhere along the line, they came under attack. And 5 of them, the 3 policemen, and the 2 vigilante members of the vigilante group, were gruesomely murdered. It was so sad an event, not just for the command, but for the police as a whole. Determined to bring the perpetrators to book, the command went all out. And through intelligence-led investigation, we were able to arrest 3 of those who took part in that dastardly act. In the process of attacking and killing these gallant officers and men, these bandits took away an AK-47 rifle, a Beretta pistol, and a pump-action rifle. So far, we have recovered our AK-47 rifle. We are still going after those who are having the Beretta pistol as well as the pump action. Apart from the AK-47 rifle that we recovered, a locally made pistol was equally recovered from them. There was also a single barrel that was recovered from them as well, with loads of criminal charms, cutlasses, bows, and arrows.
A man who had been impersonating a police officer and duping innocent citizens under the pretext of recruiting them into the police force was among those apprehended. Akinremi, however, urged the public to be vigilant and provide useful information that will help the law enforcers in ridding the state of crime.
Good job there for the police. Moving on, the police in Ondo State have arrested a 50-year-old man identified as Tunde Ogunlade for allegedly raping a 20-year-old autistic girl. Now, Ogunlade, who is said to be a carpenter, was said to have committed the crime at Idonre Road in Okearo area of the state. Ayodeji Muradeyo completes the story.
Tunde Ogunlade, a 50-year-old carpenter, is the only suspect paraded before journalists at the police headquarters in Akure, Ondo State. He was said to have raped a 20-year-old autistic girl. Cases of rape are becoming rampant in the state, as 25 girls between the ages of 7 and 20 years have been raped this year. In November alone, 8 cases were recorded across the state. While parading the suspect, spokesperson of the State Police Command, Femi Joseph, explained that Ogunlade took advantage of the girl's condition to have carnal knowledge of her. He added that the suspect will be charged to court to serve as deterrent to others.
I came to the neighborhood where this lady lives with the parents. He came there to do some carpentry works, and he decided to take advantage of this little girl, gave her 50 naira note, and had a carnal knowledge of her. You could see how this man, who is happily married with 3 kids, descended to the abyss of moral profligacy by taking advantage of this autistic child.
The suspect also gave his own side of the story.
They picked me up for offense of raping. I came to that place to work, and I met the girl.
And what happened again?
And I fingered the girl.
After that?
And blood comes from womb.
2 girls were gang raped in May this year by 4 suspects in Ondo town.
Finally, back here in Lagos, the Presidential Panel public sitting on Special Anti-Robbery Squad Reform 2018 Thursday attended to complaints brought before it in Lagos. The panel is treating complaints brought before National Human Rights Commission. His complaint is that of prolonged detention and denial of access to the victim, who is his brother. An interpreter was available to those who had issues communicating in English. The complainant said his brother was kept in detention for more than 10 days at Mabon Federal SARS office, Abeokuta, before being taken to court.
We are saying that just to show that he was given fair hearing. That is the purpose only.
Now, if you are,
but if you want to go into the content of the statement, we are already delving into the evidence.
No.
Further, having cited the statement, we are asking to withdraw it.
The police prosecutors were also allowed to question the complainant.
As somebody who loves his brother, do you ever find out or made any effort to find out why your brother was taken to court for which offense? Statement.
Next was the investigating police officer, Quadri Omolebi.
He gave me the power to record the statement for him because he said he's
he doesn't go to school at all, so he cannot write.
At another point, a phone call was put through to the OC SARS, whose name kept coming up.
Okay, sir. I'm sure some of your people are here. Yes. Because one of the complainants said he had called your number in respect of this case involving the murder of somebody at Ibesha.
To ensure we get him picked.
But there is a yes.
But for now, we are working on the phone because we posted him thrice and he has been escaping.
Second case was that of a victim who said he was shot by an officer. The case was reported by this comrade who refused to be guided by an attorney.
So no.
He said when he was arrested, they shot him. They shot his leg. So he was very, very unconscious and he was in deep pain before he was transferred to Magbon.
And we requested for the outright dismissal of the officer Ogedengbe because he committed a lot of things, violation of fundamental human rights of the authentic citizens of this country, and the series of provisions of Nigeria Apex law, which is 1999 Constitution, as amended.
And when we discover that he's alive, there are wounds which they said that was given to him. It could be an old wound. There is no evidence that this is a very fresh wound.
The panel had a total of 36 complaints, with 32 coming from Lagos and 4 from Ogun State. Nigerians with human rights violation complaints are advised to reach out to the Commission in their Lagos or Abuja sittings. Maxwell Anderson wrote, and I quote, "All men have crimes, and most of them are hidden," end of quote. Now with that, we say thank you for spending the last 25 minutes or thereabouts with us, and let's do this again, same station, same time. Do send your comments coming to crimewatch@tvcnews.tv. I'm Ivy Kano. Tweet at me, Ivy Kano. Remember, you owe the society a duty of care by reporting any suspicious activities around you to security agencies. Do have a crime-free week.